Western Mass News is celebrating our country's 250th anniversary in 2026. We're taking a look at this day in history every weekday. On July 23, 1903, Ford Motor Company sold its first automobile, a Ford Model A. With a two-cylinder engine that produced 8 horsepower, it reached speeds of up to 28 miles an hour. It had a 2-speed transmission and a reverse gear, which became a Ford signature feature. The 4-seater cost $850 at the time when the average U.S. salary was only $438. Western Mass News will be right back after the break.